So YouTube, your first is always dearly. And then we're going to go like this.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being men.
I said this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of The Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place where I get a shot and a beer and steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clement, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball! It's a power bundle!
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Cave Crew Radio, it is indeed. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but I have a little dog under my feet right now that is driving me absolutely crazy because there's a thunderstorm, and I'm really torn whether I should kick the freaking thing or like say, excuse me. I'm trying to do a radio show live from my cave in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. My name is DK, and it's great to be here tonight. Yeah, we've got some thunder rumbling. It's a good sign of spring. And I don't know what else to tell you. Hockey playoffs are approaching. WrestleMania is on Sunday. That's all I got. I'm going to go over to Queens. I'm really curious about what we're eating in Queens tonight because we always have such great foods on show night.
Yes, live from Queens, New York. I am Sir Big B.
You just choked on that Jamaican patty, didn't you?
I had to clear my throat. I was finishing chewing, and I didn't want to chew on air, unlike some other people that do various things on air. Who will name nameless for now. But yes, I have a Jamaican beef patty that I'm almost finished with.
Hey,
I literally just walked in the house.
I was telling you off air, those things are the best.
They're great.
It's like a Cornish pasty, but with a little bit of seasoning.
Oh, it's like Stu had said, it's a nice yellow pastry, but with some meaty goodness inside. It's quite lovely.
What makes it yellow?
I don't know. I think it's like corn, like a corn thing. I don't know. Stu would probably know.
Well, see if he's. Hang on a minute. Wait, you got to bring him in with the grandest of ways, right?
Oh, of course.
You're the only one of the three of us that has fucking entrance music. And he still demands that we have a statue behind my curtain.
An erection behind you.
An erection, that was good. What's up, Stu? What is the yellow? What makes the pastry yellow?
Well, I think Big B is probably correct saying it's a pastry made with some kind of cornmeal or something like that. But otherwise, it's turmeric or turmeric, depending where you're from.
Turmeric's really expensive, though.
It's not, no. It's cheap as chips.
Is it?
But it's definitely making me feel hungry. I've got a pasty myself, no more than about 5 feet away from me in the fridge. So
Wait,
it's,
did you
it's
say?
very tempting.
Did you say if this wasn't made from some cornmeal, it was like tumor-ish, like cancer? Is that what you say? I'm eating cancer? Is that what you just told me?
Turmeric. It's a spice from, where's it from? Stew, New Delhi or something?
Yeah, an Indian spice.
Yeah. And now you're telling me you're going to eat a pasty. I haven't even had dinner yet. And I would kill for a Cornish pasty.
So it's very unprofessional, though.
I mean, we're not a food show, right? But we're all having a good time.
I would agree with Stu, though. It's very unprofessional to eat and vape on air, I would say.
Yeah.
Nobody on this show would ever do that.
At least when you eat, we can't really hear you chewing. But when Stu vapes, I really feel like I'm in the presence of Darth Vader.
You will never hear me vape again.
See, now you hurt his feelings. All right. You know what it's time for, guys, right off the bat, because we got a lot to cover tonight. How many bottles are we at, Big B?
Oh, we're still at 6. Last week was 6. We're still at 6. Number 7, we will have next week.
So you've had basically what, Lent? You didn't drink last week?
We did, but it was a full bottle, so we didn't finish. So we'll have number 7 next week.
All right. So we're good. Hey, thanks to everybody listening, of course. We always appreciate all of you. I don't know where we want. I want to talk to Stu. Last week, Big B, I had Choo Choo Stu on Live Tonight with DK. And we were talking about the podcast train.
Okay.
And so Stu's like, he's revving up, he's ready to go. Apparently he's got like a really cool guest. I don't know if he's going to share that with us or not. But he's also been making... No, go ahead. It's all yours, big fella.
I was going to say, I'm not going to mention her name. Say I'm losing my podcast virginity, touch wood, all being well, to a sex worker.
Why do I find that not strange at all, Big B?
That's par for the course for Stu.
So
of course it's a sex worker.
He's probably walking down beside Big Ben and like, hey, here's $20. And when we're done, would you like to do a show?
I don't think it's that simple, because Stu is the most interesting man in the world. So I think he had remember when he wasn't with us for a number of weeks.
Right.
He took some time off. I believe that he made a special trip to Indonesia somewhere, engaged in the carnal wares that go on over there, got a phone number of his favorite worker, and now that's going to be his first guest. I don't think it's just simple as just getting a prostitute on the corner in London. It has to be something more interesting than that.
Why would you pick fucking Indonesia of all the countries in the world?
He fucked a one-legged Aborigine chick. Why wouldn't I pick Indonesia? I should have picked Somalia or something like that.
Stu, have you ever done a Somalian chick? I'm just curious now that we're on the topic. I mean, we're never on any real schedule on this show.
No, not knowingly.
Well, they're very black, and not offending Somalian people by any means. They're very
that's
very, very dark skin.
My first choice. Funny shaped heads as well. You can spot them a mile off, Somalians, can't you? Shape to them.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But it's true. It's true. You can spot a Somalian by the sort of, I think, by the shape of their head. Maybe that's just me.
Can you clarify for us here? I mean, I would think you could spot a Somalian. And again, any Somalians listening, I do not want to offend you in any way. I would spot a Somalian by the very dark pigmentation that they have. But you're saying it's the shape of their head.
I don't agree with that. I think some of them are quite light skinned, but there's just something about, you can see them. I work with a Somalian. You can just spot them. There's just something about them, and I believe it's the shape of their head.
You see, on this show, Stu, we don't just accept that there's something about them. We really want to know what it is.
Did we ask Bill if he would take in a Somalian?
Teach us. I feel like I'm watching the National Geographic Channel right now, Big B.
I can't really elaborate on it. It's just I can spot a Somalian out. If you lined up 10 people, I could tell which one was a Somalian. Who a Nigerian is.
Yes, but what he's not telling you is the 10 people have to be from Sweden, Norway, Finland, Canada, Ireland, Scotland, and a Somalian.
And then, hey,
I can pick that Somalian out. No, of course I can.
I've got my eyes closed right now, but there's one that's not reflecting the light back at me.
All right,
we're going somewhere tonight. We're going somewhere already. I never wanted to go.
Everyone say hi, and the first one that goes to say hi is the Somalian.
And this all started with a Jamaican patty.
Slightly changing subjects. I once went to an Ethiopian restaurant in London. It was amazing food. Like, I thought they were meant to have no food, these Ethiopians, and yet their cuisine is very good.
That's where all the money went in the fucking 80s. Everybody donated millions of dollars to help Ethiopia. They opened up 87,000 restaurants.
So
yeah, I was expecting that.
I can't believe where we've gone tonight. We're surely the FBI and the KGB and everyone else will be after us shortly.
Damn Russians,
Ethiopians, motherfuckers. So, what exactly did you eat at the Ethiopian restaurant? I've lost complete focus of the direction of where we're going here. So,
did you eat a hot plate of air and a nice glass of emptiness?
I honestly can't remember, but I remember the part of the salad. There was some kind of like a, let's say Ethiopian, but some kind of couscous-y salad, some grain or something like that. But it was very nice.
Some grain? Did you just say some grain? Oh, fuck's sakes.
And yeah.
Is there anything going on this week in the populated world, which is New York?
There is construction everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to start now, right?
Holy shit. The fucking other day, I was going to work, and I've told you guys I take an express bus into work. Usually takes between an hour 15, maybe a little bit more to get into work. I didn't get in one day until 11 o'clock because of all the construction that they decided to do during rush hour. They decided to put like 3 lanes down into 1, and then it goes out to 2, and then back into 1, and then it goes into reverse lane. The fuck are they doing at rush hour? Holy shit, people got to go to work.
I'm sure this is what they do. Hey, construction guys, let's get our plan together. It's rush hour. Let's just stop.
Well, and then you finally make it up to where they're doing all the construction. There's 37 guys standing around eating sandwiches, and one guy with a fucking sledgehammer hitting the road, and they're all getting paid fucking overtime.
And not one of them is an Ethiopian. I guarantee.
And not one of them is an Ethiopian.
Italian guys.
And what are they building?
Hey, listen, if we're gonna pick on
someone, are they building?
Oh, they're not building anything. That's the thing. They're tearing apart the road they just fixed to fucking fix it so they keep their budget for next year.
Well, it's that time of year, isn't it? So everything gets done, doesn't it?
Ah, fucking assholes.
Other than that, I noticed you got your Ranger jersey on. I'm really proud of you. Things are getting really intense. I haven't checked actually the score in the Leaf game, but the Rangers are in.
Yeah, they clinched the other night. Although Lundqvist really isn't looking good. Ranta is playing out of his mind right now. You know you're not going to sit Lundqvist, but as a fan, you're kind of thinking maybe you should because Ranta's playing really well.
We got Toronto 1-0. You people don't know. We haven't had a Stanley Cup since before Montezuma had revenge.
Well, you're not going to have one this year.
No, God, no. But just to make the playoffs would be extremely, really cool.
Well, and what I said, I think even before the season started, when they got Brendan Shanahan as GM and Mike Babcock as coach, I said give them 3 seasons to turn it around, and they're going to be really good because you got 2 guys that really know what they're doing. And I love that when Brendan Shanahan became GM, he got rid of almost everybody. He said, "Fuck it, we're starting over."
Yeah, clear it out, clear house. So so anyway, folks, those of you watching, you can watch on Cave Crew TV, or you could be listening, and we appreciate it. Big B has his Ranger hat on, and of course, I have my Toronto Maple Leaf hat on. And I gotta tell you though, this is something really cool. I'm going to a hockey banquet tomorrow, and Stu and I were talking before we went on air of how very close my city is to Detroit, Michigan. Well, most of the people in my town are Red Wing fans, and they have been so quiet this year because for the first time in like 23 years, they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not making the playoffs. That's right. And I'm surprised. I'm surprised people in your town are Red Wings fans. I don't care how close to Michigan you live. You're still in Canada. Canadians go for the Canadian teams. They don't root for anybody else.
Now you're hearing me, brother. Cheer for the home team.
That's what I figure. I mean, we're close to Philadelphia. They ain't a fucking Flyer fan around here. We're either Ranger fans or Islander fans. We even hate the fucking Devil fans. Fuck them. And Jersey's closer.
What are you going to do when the Islanders move to Hartford?
Who gives a shit? Fuck the Islanders.
Because they got to go somewhere. I mean, maybe they'll go to what was that country you chose? Indonesia.
No, what they're going to do, most likely, what I'm hearing is they're going to build an arena next to Shea Stadium or Citi Field. They're just going to turn that. That's also where Wimbledon is. So they're just going to turn that into a big, sports park, basically. Not Wimbledon. I'm sorry. U.S. Open.
I was just going to say, I thought Wimbledon was in where Stu is.
It's in England. I'm looking at Stu, so that's why I said Wimbledon. The U.S. Open is over there too. So they'll have Citi Field where the Mets play. They have the U.S. Open tennis stadium over there, or the Arthur Ashe tennis stadium. And what I'm hearing is because that whole area is basically the surrounding area is junkyards. It's all like wall to wall junkyards. So what I'm hearing, is that they'll clear all of that out and build the Islanders an arena there. I don't think it's passed any city council votes or anything, but that's the plan right now.
Will anyone go to watch though?
Believe it or not, in Queens here, there's a lot of Islander fans. So yeah, people will go to watch more so than in Brooklyn. Long Island. Long Islanders will just hop the LIE down to Queens. It's a much for the Islanders. It's a smarter move than sitting in Brooklyn.
All right, now because Tavares is going to Toronto. That's inevitable, right? That's his hometown. That's
well, supposedly he wants to be an Islander forever, but we'll see when free agency.
What would you say if I said to you right now, Big B, what is your stand on Cave Crew Radio? You'd feed me some fucking bullshit, some gobbly all Radio X goop. And then the next day, I wouldn't hear from you again.
No, I hear you. But you know as well as I do, being a sports fan, that there are some athletes out there that, make no bones about that they don't want to be where they are. So, and they can't wait for free agency to come so they can leave. So, Tavares is walking the line, saying that he wants to be an Islander forever. We'll see what happens. It's a losing organization. So are the Leafs, but the Leafs, I think, have a higher upside. So if Tavares, when free agency hits and it's his turn, if the Leafs are on an upswing, there's a possibility. Depends on what the Islanders are doing as far as talent goes.
Did you just say my hometown? Well, it's not really my hometown, but it's pretty much my home. Is a losing?
Yes, at the moment, yes, they are.
Piece of shit. Wait till the Blue Jays beat the Yankees this year. You're just a motherfucking piece of shit. That's all you are.
The Yankees are a mediocre team right now. I mean, I love what they did when they got rid of fucking A-Rod and Teixeira retired. They traded Beltran. I love that they got rid of all those old guys and let the young guys come up. It gave them a nice shot in the arm at the end of the season last year. So we'll see what they do this year. But they're a mediocre team. I mean, they're not a World Series contender right now.
I can imagine World War III, Stu. And here's what I'm imagining. This guy from New York. Your country's just a losing piece of shit. So we'll catch up and we'll block at Iceland. Never mind Europe. They're fucking losers.
Well,
they're useless.
I mean, France is there, so I think we can all
send all the refugees to fucking Europe.
Yeah, fuck them. I mean, I think we can all agree France is a piece of shit country. Fuck him.
He's got the Alamo built at the freaking London Bridge.
Oh my goodness.
Stu, do you even know what we're talking about with hockey? I feel so bad. Do you guys do you even have ice over there? And
We've got London.
Not talking about on the rocks.
We've got hockey teams here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you talk about that. I work with a guy who's a British guy. He's from London. He's living here in the States now, and apparently he's part owner. I don't know how much. Maybe 1% of a team called Stratham, something to that effect.
Stratton, yeah.
Stratton, yeah. That the hockey team.
No, he knows the city,
really, but Stratton
doesn't know the fucking hockey team.
Okay, I don't know, but apparently he's a part owner of that hockey team.
It's in South London.
Okay. Yeah. So they do have hockey teams there.
Have you ever brought Oscar to a hockey game just for culture? I mean, my kid plays soccer. We go watch rugby. I'll even go watch cricket if I have an opportunity to. Have you ever gone and brought Oscar to a hockey game?
No, but it's on my to-do list. I've never brought myself to a hockey game, let alone anyone else.
What about when the NFL comes to England? Like every year, they're there like 2 or 3 times a year.
Oh, remember the Monarch? What was that World League? The Monarch. Remember they were in London and they weren't they
the London Monarchs? Well, they're still there. There's the European Football League.
But weren't they like the world champions of? Remember that league that split when Herschel Walker left the Eagles?
Oh, that was the USFL.
Yeah, and didn't they have a team in England?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And they had the Barcelona Bat Fucks. I don't know what they were called.
I will make
but they do have the European football.
They call soccer football.
Well, but they have the European Football League as far as the NFL is concerned, and with the New York Giants, New York Jets, and all of that stuff. So they go over and play in London a couple of times a year. I was wondering if Stu ever was interested in going, went.
Stu, it's rugby with pads on.
I know. I'd much rather go and see an American football game than rugby. I can assure you that. But as you know, I'm not really a sporting person. So the idea of going to take Oscar, yeah.
I think that would be an event. I think that would be an event if you took your son to next year. Next year, look for tickets to the NFL when they come to London.
Right.
Take your son to a football game.
And go see what did you call them? The Stratford years?
Stratham?
That hockey team?
Whatever they're called. I don't know.
You should have a bucket list. In all honesty, the kid should have an opportunity to see all sports. You've probably taken him to see darts 9 or 10 times.
Yeah, he likes darts.
I bet he does. 108.
And pool, snooker. They're my sports. Darts, pool, snooker.
I bet when you take him to darts, he's like, Dad, what's that stuff in their glass? Does that make them stronger?
No, son. That's like the same thing as bowling.
Yeah, now you're talking on Halo ground. I'm not very good at it. I like it when they put those. Do you ever play bowling when they put those things down the sides?
Yeah, I have because when I take my son, when he was younger bowling, so he could actually hit the pins and not get a gutter ball. But us adults there, DK, we play without the rails.
No, we don't, because I took the boys from the hockey team a couple of weeks ago on spring break, and they put those bumpers up, and you can rebound off the bumpers, and it brings a whole new strategy into the game, especially if you're
getting that's when you're playing with kids. Yeah, you're playing with children. When you play as an adult with other adults, you don't use the bumpers.
Once again, folks, I will say it loud and clear. Big B, go fuck yourself. If I want to use bumpers, because I have more fun and get more value for my money. Have you ever played golf? All I do is look for that fucking little white ball in the forest.
I've never played golf.
So imagine.
I used to play that.
Imagine if they put bumpers up. No, you fuck some chick on the 18th hole. We heard about that last week. Imagine if they put bumpers up on the golf course. How much more effective and enjoyable that would be for all of us.
I don't play golf, so I don't know. I play adult bowling when I go out and go bowling. I do it as an adult. I don't have a sippy cup with me and ask them to put the bumpers up.
I'm surprised no one's put GPS on the golf balls.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a great idea, by the way.
That really is.
Yes, on the golf balls. That might be our link to be famous.
There you go.
But I'm curious.
Dragon's Den.
That you're such a big boy in bowling. What's your average score?
I don't play a lot. I don't go bowling like in a league or
now
anything.
You're backtracking. Now
it's 100 and something. I don't know. I never keep
score is 300.
100 and something.
Imagine how much better you do with the bumpers.
Yes, but those people those guys that hit the 300, they didn't use bumpers either.
No, they didn't, but they're sick people. Who grows up in their life and says, I want to be a bowler? Look, we're here, we're talking back and forth. There's soccer, or there's football, or there's hockey. Who grows up and says, I'm going to be the best bowler on the planet? That's just my calling in life. I'm just,
obviously a number of people, because it's on TV and they actually do make money. I'm assuming they're not millionaires, but they actually do make money off of it.
Okay, I'm going to lose my mind on that because it's on TV. They fish for bass on TV,
and there's huge money in that.
I know it's a different type of bowls, but do your old people play bowls on the lawn?
Oh, lawn bowling. He's
Lawn bowling.
talking about Big B. That's a
Yeah.
game. That's Montreal. Yes, I've played that. And there's also a game, bocce ball.
Oh, that's a big mafia game.
Yeah, it's a tough game actually.
That's huge. When you come here, go up to the parks here in Queens, you have all the old Italian guys playing bocce ball, and you don't fuck with them. You don't mess with their game. You don't come near them. You leave them alone and let them play bocce ball.
Because you might end up.
You might end up as part of the sidewalk. That's right.
Really?
Literally in the concrete as part of the sidewalk.
So this is an offbeat question, but I'm wondering about two people that I've been worried about lately. So Jimmy Hoffa, do you think Jimmy walked in on a bocce ball game? Jimmy Hoffa.
He probably welched on a bet in a bocce ball game, and got disappeared.
Do you know the other guy we haven't seen in like 3 years? Apparently, he's being held captive by his maid or something, according to a podcast I'm listening to. But Richard Simmons.
Oh wow, Richard Simmons. I haven't thought of him in fucking forever.
Whatever happened to Richard Simmons?
No.
There's actually a podcast out right now that is like what? Apparently, he's being held captive by his maid.
Well, if the people in the podcast know that he's being held captive, why don't the police know and do something about
it? He's got a fucking answer for everything. This is why we keep Big B around, because folks, that just about sums up everything. There's a new podcast out. It is called "Where Is Richard Simmons" or something like that. Missing Richard Simmons, and Big B's right. If there's a podcast about it, then why don't the police? It's a very valid answer, and I've got to give you kudos for that one.
I mean, some jerk off fucking with a podcast in Wisconsin suddenly knows everything about Richard Simmons and knows he's being held captive. Why doesn't he call the fucking police? No, you're going to go on fucking air and say, oh, Richard Simmons is held captive by his maid. Do you know that she rapes him repeatedly 3 times a day, holds a knife to his head, and fucking, threatens to fucking slice his spine open on a daily basis? But I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to tell the police or the authorities. No. Fuck him. I'm just going to talk about it on my podcast.
Not only to mention he's gay.
No. Really?
Do you think so?
No way. There's no way he's gay. Next, you're going to tell me Liberace was gay.
I don't think Liberace was.
There's no way he was gay. I mean, he had all the women. Come on. I mean, him, Rock Hudson.
Well, Rock Hudson.
Simmons. They were all men.
I think Rock Hudson fooled everybody.
You think? Jesus.
Including the girls he slept with. What really irritates me more than anything else on this planet is when a gay guy gets to sleep with a hot chick.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to be there. He's thinking of fucking Billy Bob down at the fucking Old Town pub or whatever the fuck.
I'm really distraught now. I'm thinking of gay guys that get to fuck hot chicks.
Somebody cut that and just say, I'm thinking of gay guys. Just cut that right there, and we can loop it over and over again.
Someone will. There's lots of people out there that are hunting for us. All right, listen, let's take a quick break because I got some stories I want to get to, guys. And of course, I've got your favorite segment ready again. Make up your own word karaoke.
Oh God!
And I think I've got a good song picked up.
And wait, didn't you say somebody has a question for me?
Oh fuck the email! See, you can't let me forget this shit
because I still want to know who's sending it.
This is a different person though. This is you're out there buying your Jamaican patties or whatever it is the fuck you do before the show, and Stu and I are talking. There's actually people that listen to this shit.
So you mean I have a couple of fans out there and they want to know more about me?
Well, I don't know if they're a fan. They might be ready to belittle you, but anyway, let's take a break. You're listening to Cave Crew Radio live every Thursday night right here on cavecrewradio.com. Also on TuneIn and Stitcher and iTunes and all those other beautiful, lovely places. And the Podcast Radio Network, which, of course, draws us thousands of fans. That wasn't nice, Stu. We'll be back.
Hey, this is Jerry from the Bad Cop Show. You're listening to Cave Crew Radio.
Cave Crew Radio, live every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, only on cavecrewradio.com. Don't forget to check out the live YouTube feed, also available on demand on iTunes and Stitcher, wherever good podcasts are found. Cave Crew Radio at cavecrewradio.com. So you ask me, what goes on the rest of the week? Facebook, Cave Crew Radio. Join the Cave Crew Radio group on Facebook 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Find out where the stories come from. Where are the ideas plugging in? Cave Crew Radio on Facebook. Join today. Don't forget Twitter at Cave Crew Radio. All right, we're back. Short break tonight. Oh, I have to make an announcement, guys. There is no Live Tonight with DK this weekend. Big B, WrestleMania is going on. But if you're in the chat room right now, or you're on Cave Crew Radio Facebook, or you're on Live Tonight with DK Facebook, we have a free book to give away. For everybody, if you go to justinpeck.com, and Al is going to do me a favor and he's going to post that along. But we also had Stu on the show this week. If you can imagine that. It was a great interview.
Why did you have me? Why did you have me on the show?
I had you on the show because I had nobody else I could find.
Weren't you let down?
All right. Do we have to go there before we go anywhere? Look, all right. Here's the deal, kids. Apparently, I made another live streamer, podcaster, talk radio person very angry with me, and I refused to fight back. And this, you're right, Stu. This is my place where I can totally lose it. I can really say what I really feel. But you know what? Things happen. People get mad. And he's a great guy. Despite what anyone else thinks or says. I think he's an awesome guy. So what we're gonna do to retaliate to this, Stu, because as he would say on his show, I know you're gonna see this at some point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you one of these. It's showing up. This is
one of these.
This is a limited. Yeah, exactly. What you're showing there. Show yours better. Yours is better. Yeah, we're going to send you a limited edition, collectible, autographed. It's far too much to fit into one sentence. Choo Choo Stew mug, which is apparently dishwasher safe. What would you call it, Stu? Yep. A olive branch.
As an olive branch, yeah.
As an olive branch. We want to send you an olive branch, and you know who you are. And we don't mention any names, and we're sorry we didn't. I missed a very important appointment. And that falls on me. And losing your temper is totally acceptable. But put your energy in a positive place now, because we are sending you one of these. And there's not many people on the planet that have a limited edition collectible autograph Choo Choo Stew mug. There. I hate saying it because it's like the title of it. It's a fucking coffee cup is what it is.
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
It is. It's like a lot to get out. But anyway, we're sending you one. Already got your address because I was going to kill you. But then I changed my mind. I thought instead of killing you, I would send you a autographed, limited edition, collectible Choo Choo Stew mug.
It's the softer side of DK.
It's the softer side.
You're listening to Cave Crew Radio right here on NPR.
You are.
You will hear the soft side of
beautiful place.
DK right about now.
Now,
DK, please tell us about the flowers that are blooming outside.
The flowers are blooming right now because the rain is falling. And anyway, I got to talk to you guys about something though, because there's a few stories we have on tap before we go anywhere. And I know Big B is really gearing up for the karaoke.
I'm really not.
All I've been hearing about lately on this Good Morning America local radio stations is this zoo in New York where this giraffe is ready to give birth, and they have a webcam up, and people, God bless your soul, you don't have anything better to do. You know, maybe take out the garbage or hold the door open for a neighbor. They're watching this giraffe getting ready to give birth in New York. Did you see this, Big B?
No.
The fucking what do you call a female giraffe? I don't even know.
Giraffette.
Giraffess.
A giraffess has been pregnant for about 17 months.
What?
I guess that's how long a giraffe holds its, you know, they eat a lot of leaves and shit. But anyway, there's talk now that this might be a April Fool's joke. Where's it say it's from here? Hang on. I'm
Oh, they say it's April the giraffe.
April the giraffe. So April Fool's. It's been pregnant now 14 to 15 months. They now here's the really fun part, folks. If you want to close your eyes for a minute, when April finally gives birth, she will do so standing up, and the baby will drop to the ground.
Yeah,
it's
they
like
do,
taking a shit. I've never seen a giraffe give fucking birth before. I mean, this is just
I must admit.
Oh,
they do. They literally
over to the stew
fall
camp.
out.
Over to the stew camp.
They fall out onto the floor.
And where exactly did you see a giraffe give birth?
Yeah, well, something like that. Yeah. No, they definitely they give birth standing up, and it's obviously got a long way to drop.
So this wasn't in real life that you saw this. I was thinking that you saw this like in the backwoods of Finland somewhere or whatever.
Hey, if you want your wife to have sex tonight, read her this. April's baby will be about 150 pounds and 6 feet tall. just see if that gets you some cozy wozy tonight, folks.
Can you imagine that? Congratulations, you have a basketball player. Yay!
But could you imagine, honey? Everything's gonna be all right. You just push it out.
Yeah,
not that big. It's like a hemorrhoid. You know. And then this 150-pound, and giraffes really aren't that big. Their legs look pretty frail to me.
Yeah, they're very skinny, and if she decides to drop now, I'm watching her live, and she's got her bum facing the camera.
What is a bun?
A bum.
Or bum. Okay.
So a rear end.
She's facing the camera. So but they say if she's going to do it, she's going to stand up. And,
she's standing up.
And drop this 6 foot fucking.
Wait, that's all giraffes do is stand up. Of course she's going to stand up.
So when they call this fake, the one guy from the zoo says, obviously our timing's a little bit wrong. Well, obviously you missed that she was fucking the other giraffe.
I don't get that there's a camera that apparently Stu's watching now, but millions of people are hooked on this stupid camera.
There are millions and millions of people watching this camera. It's on the news. It's on the radio. Everyone's watching this fucking giraffe, seeing if she's going to drop a 6 foot shit out of her vagina any minute.
And you know what? I hope it's a joke. All you fucking assholes get fucking pranked for watching this stupid fucking.
And what's the big deal anyway about it? Like,
well, here's the thing I don't get. Who has this for a job? The one guy comes on and he says, if anything, maybe we've missed a cycle. Cycle are every 17 days or so, maybe. 17 days past what we thought was the due date, or maybe 34 days after that. Who the fuck stands and watches a giraffe cycle?
Oh.
Yeah, there are people with that job.
But what's the big deal about that? Why isn't there like a monkey cam?
Because monkeys
or a
are
lion cam.
Do you scroll down the article here? It says, how do giraffes mate? I'm assuming you haven't turned it off yet and hit the pause button, so we're going to keep going. Unlike most animals, giraffes mate at any time of year, but conception normally takes place during the rainy season. But the baby arrives when it's dry.
Aha. Okay.
The weather changes every day where I live. It's rainy tonight. It could be sunny as fuck tomorrow.
So what they're saying is basically the giraffes fuck all year long.
Yeah.
But they only conceive at one point in time.
You ready for this? You're going to love this, Big B. This is right up your alley.
Okay.
Courting begins when the female urinates, which the male sniffs and works out whether she is ready to breed or not.
Now take this and apply this to humanity.
Oh, can you imagine?
Picture being at a fucking singles bar.
Yeah.
And
what
a
do you
fucking
do?
chick goes into the bathroom, into the stall. There's a line of guys outside waiting to sniff the fucking bowl and examine the piss to see if she's ready to breed.
That sounds like a Friday night out in London.
Anyway,
you see the remnants on the fucking train.
You're missing an important part here. If she is ready to breed, she will lick her tail and raise her front leg.
Mm-hmm.
So
Again, apply this to humanity.
I'm loving this.
Yeah.
You're at a bar. Woman goes into the bathroom, pisses. The line of guys that are smelling the piss.
Yeah. Looking
they
for
think
that.
she might be ready. They see her outside the bar. She figures out how to lick her own ass and lifts her leg straight up in the air.
She licked her tail, not her ass.
There's a tail on her ass. She licks her ass. Where's your tailbone? On the top of your ass.
Anyway, folks, you could be waiting for months and months and months for this to happen. But April is 15 years old and she already has 3 calves. So calves are the name of the
fucking whore.
There you go, folks.
15-year-old with 3 kids already. Jesus Christ.
I remember. That's what I want to know.
The fucking giraffe welfare. She's going to be on giraffe welfare. All the fucking giraffe workers are going to have to pay for it. Fucking whore.
Send them back.
Someone in the chat room says they're watching us now on Toys R Us. How the fuck could we be on Toys R Us?
Because Toys R Us are sponsoring the camel cam.
Oh,
not the camel cam, the giraffe cam. Sorry,
camel cam. Well, they got the fucking.
I thought they were
Jerry
watching
the giraffe or whatever the fuck it's called.
I thought they were watching us on Toys R Us. I would have thought that was okay. Let's keep up with the inseminating thing.
Oh, please.
I sent you guys this story. This is from the Toronto Sun in Canada here. Apparently, there was a woman who attempted to impregnate a captive Mexican surrogate with syringes. Guess where we're going, Big B. We're going to Florida.
Of course we are.
Apparently, a Florida woman pleaded guilty to forced labor. How is it forced labor until you're actually having the baby?
Wow.
After she admitted to smuggling a Mexican woman across the border, holding her captive while attempting to impregnate her with syringes. There you go, boys.
Wouldn't it have been easier just to steal a baby?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be easy? Wouldn't it have been easier just to ask somebody to be a surrogate?
Yeah, or just go to Tijuana and say, "Hey, I'll give you 5 pesos for your kid." Like,
yeah, I mean, not for nothing. The peso, as opposed to the dollar, is like there's like $50,000 to 1 peso, whatever it is. So you tell them, "I'll give you $10." They're fucking rich for life, and you can have a kid. She spent $3,000 to have this woman smuggled across the border.
Right. And I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, but right now I'm thinking of The Handmaid's Tale. Or have you read the book or seen the movie or
what?
The Handmaid's Tale. That's when like all the people of the future are dying, and only certain women can come out babies, so they're handmaids. Never mind, you guys get that. But anyway, so according to WKMG Orlando, Clark had assured the victim, known as YL, typical Mexican name, the surrogacy would be medically supervised. So apparently she was aware of it. Instead, YL was forced mentally and physically abused, forced into domestic labor, and held captive while being fed beans-only diet. All right, I'm going to sidetrack for just 1 second.
Okay.
If and when I ever decided that I was going to force feed an immigrant with a syringe to have my child, I think I'd want to feed her a little bit healthier diet than fucking beans.
Exactly.
Okay.
You want a healthy baby, don't you?
Well, I would think so. Here, have some coconut milk, or I don't fucking know.
Okay. Where are you from?
My wife always wanted Arby's.
Well, now, where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
You're from Canada. The person in the story is from?
Mexico.
No. The person in the story is from?
Florida.
Florida. There you go.
Oh, sorry.
That answers your question. Of course, you would think of this, not the people in Florida.
Because, like, in all seriousness, I mean, guys, you both have children as well. When my wife was going through pregnancy, the one thing, and I don't think we've had it ever since because I got so fucking sick of it, is she wanted Arby's. Arby's and ice cream and pickles. I don't think she ever asked me for beans.
No. I know my wife, with my older son, craved olives for some reason. One of this huge olive craze for the longest time. I think it was the salt in the olives.
Stu, do I dare ask you?
No, my wife's palate is different to mine. I can't really remember. I don't think she was ever craving much. I know I fed her curry towards the end. To try and...
Hey, look, I'm right on board with these Mexican smugglers. I'm just going to give the woman curry and see what comes out.
You notice how he said it too. It wasn't like she wanted curry, she was craving curry. No, I fed her curry. Like, bitch, you're gonna eat this or else.
Now, what happened? I think on the first one, because she went over, and we was trying to induce the baby. I had all the known things to induce the baby, and one of them was curry.
So do you think if we went to this zoo in New York, because Big B is very, very close, that if we gave a giraffe some curry, perhaps a 6-foot thing would just drop out? Is that possible?
I think so. A bit of chicken tikka masala, and maybe in no time. And I think they ought to bring the father in to maybe help induce it as well.
Maybe lick the tail. Anyway, YL, I guess she was allowed to work. That's really cool. But Clark kept all her earnings. The abuse lasted for more than 2 years. So obviously what she was doing with that syringe didn't work properly. Or the juice that she was impregnating with.
I have a question.
Didn't have a lot of swimmers.
I have a question.
But apparently Clark could go to jail for 20 years.
I have a question.
Don't ask me because I don't know the fucking answer.
Well, I'm just going to throw it out there.
Okay.
Where's she getting all the semen from?
Yeah, they never mentioned the man.
Yeah, they never in this story. They never mentioned anything about her boyfriend, her husband, the dude down the street. Where's she getting all this fucking semen from?
Oh no, it was from used condoms, wasn't it?
No, maybe she's inseminating the Mexican woman with like vaginal fluid, and of course that's not going to work.
Well, she is from Florida.
I'm sure she'd got it from used condoms.
And see, this is the problem. If you're a journalist, and we don't claim to be, we just come on here and have a lot of laughs and a lot of fun. But if you're a journalist, could you please tell the whole fucking story?
If you read it through, it says used condoms. I'm sure of it.
Well, if she used a condom around the syringe, then obviously she's not going to impregnate the Mexican.
No, he's saying he got the semen from used condoms.
Oh,
like she's fucking all these random dudes, taking the condoms and filling up the syringes with the semen.
And then she's bringing it home. She's
finding used condoms, the worst thing. But
she's going, why, Al? Flat on your back, baby. It's time for another injection. This is just terrible what we do. It's just awful. I feel terrible about myself. All right. Let's get away from impregnating and let's go into this one, Big B. And Choo Choo. So I know personally, one of my jobs around the house is to make sure lunch is ready. It's good to go. It's a school day. Lunch is made. We got apples in there. We got, cheese strings. We got granola bars, a few unhealthy snacks, maybe a brownie or something. But this mom sent her kid to school with vodka in her lunch instead of, I guess, a juice box. Those raspberry sorbets they sell with the vodka in them? Yeah.
Accidentally sent her kid to school with vodka for lunch instead. Nice.
And here's the one line I love again. Journalists, you're the best. So perhaps it's not so surprising when they get mixed up with more innocent beverages. They do kind of look like a juice box. I've seen them in the stores. However, they are about 10 times bigger.
Oh, are they? I've never seen them. I'm looking at the picture, and it looks like, looks like something that, I give my son to go to school with the little the juice, the drink boxes, the Sunny D or whatever. It looks exactly like that.
I can see it quite easily happening. That it's an easy mistake to make, especially as the mother's just got up. She's tired from whatever she's been doing, and
I'm fucking YL with a syringe.
She gave the child hash brownies or something like that as well.
Like, I honestly, guys, can't stick up for this because, and maybe I drink too much, but it clearly says Smirnoff right across the top, which is vodka. And then if you look at the middle, it says vodka.
Well, let me play devil's advocate,
as you always do,
for 1 second. Now, I know you said it's your job to get the lunches for the kids ready and all that, but you also said a number of times on the program that you are semi-retired. So I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, that leads me to believe you have more time in the morning to get things done.
Yeah, because I'm busier at night.
Right. Okay. So my point being that it's possible that one, obviously the chick's an alcoholic because she's buying fucking alcoholic drinks and fucking sippy. But she could have woken up. That has to get ready for work. She's woken up. She has to get ready for work. She's got to get her kid ready for school. She's running around the house, probably a bit hungover, and just grabbed the thing out of the refrigerator, threw it in the lunch bag, and off you went to school.
I think if you were an alcoholic, you'd pick something better than these freaking 5% Smirnoffs.
Not really. I mean,
I think you'd go for them.
Alcoholics like drink the fucking like Budweiser and Bud Lights and all that stuff. That's like the watery fucking piece of shitty beers that all alcoholics drink. They drink crap. They don't spend a lot of money on this stuff. They get cheap things so they can drink a lot of it.
So if I hung you as judge and jury right now,
yeah,
you were the judge, and and look, it might have been a mistake. You're right, might have been a little groggy. Reach for the wrong packet. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. I'll run with that. But number one, these things are supposed to be in the freezer, not in the fridge. The juice boxes you keep in the fridge or in the cupboard, right?
Right. Yep.
So why would she reach in the freezer?
Well, I agree with you. Now, if it was in the freezer and she went in the freezer, yes, you don't give your kid something from the freezer. Yeah. But I'm thinking that it was in the fridge along with the sippy, the drinks for kids. She just grabbed it, threw it in the lunch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you guys are saying cut her a break.
Well, if I was the judge or the jury, she would definitely have to, she wouldn't do jail time, but some sort of probation, something like that, for a couple of years probation, something to that effect. Because I wouldn't send her to jail for it.
And again, you're picking on me because I'm semi-retired, but I mean, look. Just because she has these innocent little adult juice boxes in the freezer does not make her an alcoholic or an addict.
No, not at all.
Perhaps she's made some bad judgment.
No, absolutely. I'm saying that, perhaps she was maybe hungover a little bit. Not saying she was full blown drop, down on the floor drunk. Maybe she was hungover a little bit. She's got to get herself ready to go to work. Got to get her kid ready to go to school. They got to catch the school bus. She's got to, jump in the car and go to work. And it's all happening like a fucking crazed time period that, all this has to happen in a half an hour.
Here's a novel idea. I don't know if you do this at your house. Do you ever think to organize things? So like when I go get the kids lunch and look, even though I'm semi-retired, I don't always find things in the morning because I might have done a show. I'm a little bit half hungover, but I'm pretty sure I've never put a butt of weed in my kids' lunch. Like I don't think it's ever happened.
Well, I would hope if you did smoke weed, I'm not saying you do or you don't. If you did, I would hope it's not in the same bread bag with the fucking bread you're going to make your kids sandwiches.
Exactly. So why would the Sunny D be in the same place as this Smirnoff vodka pouch?
But it makes more sense if those are both in the refrigerator. I'm not saying the freezer. I'm saying if they're both in the refrigerator, You just throw stuff in the refrigerator. It's very easy just to grab something off one shelf when you think you're reaching in for another, especially if you're not looking and you kind of know where things are in your fridge. You just grab it and throw it in and you're on to something else.
I've got cans of Coke sitting next to cans of strawberry cider. The same size, and it's a mistake to make.
Well, shame on you. All I'm saying, guys, look, I'll give you an example. Tomorrow night we're going to this hockey banquet, which I don't want to go to, but my wife is forcing me. They charge an inordinate amount of money for booze. So Melissa is gone, and she has bought 2 Mickeys of booze. Not to smuggle, but to bring into the parlor or whatever the fuck it is we're going to. And we'll mix our own drinks. I won't because I drink beer. I can't drink the funny stuff. But I really find it hard to believe that in the morning I am going to grab a Mickey and put it in my son's lunch. I just having a hard time grasping that.
Is it starting the same spot?
Seriously.
Any lunch things are.
In your darkest moment, in your darkest moment, when you're wobbling through and you know those Jamaican patties are going to come right out your fucking ass any second, and you're making lunch, you're not going to grab a shrimp off and send the boys off to school. I know it's not true. I won't believe it for a minute.
No, of course I wouldn't, because I keep all of my beer and any liquor is completely separated from anything that would have to do with where the kids can grab stuff, right? So it's all my beer and everything isn't even in the main refrigerator in the kitchen. It's in my little fridge that I have down here. So everything is completely separated. So there is no possible way I could even make that mistake. But like Stu said, he's got, cans of cider and right next to cans of Coke. Everybody does things differently. I keep everything separated.
I would
she
say,
might not have.
I would commend you on what you're doing, and I would say to Stu, you need to rethink your pantry.
But the kids, if you hide it from the kids, it's more of a.
I'm not.
Why are they hiding it? Then
hide it. I'm just saying, don't put it in their fucking lunch bag. Now my dogs are going crazy. All right, here's what we're going to do, because clock is ticking. I still got a few more things I want to get to. One of the things I really want to get to is I really, really thought this segment was dead. I didn't think anyone cared. I didn't think anybody listened. I just thought we did this because we liked having a few beers at night and then putting booze in our kids' lunchbox in the morning. We got another email a while back. It's got to be back in 2016. Somebody asked Big B a question, something about a restaurant, wasn't it? Or
that was about 3 weeks ago.
Was it? Okay. and someone asked you something about a restaurant, right?
Right.
I can't remember what the exact question was, but like there was literally. And if you want to do this, folks, by the way, cavecrewradio@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on our Facebook page, Cave Crew Radio, or on Twitter, Cave Crew Radio. There's a pattern going on here. So I get this email at cavecrewradio@gmail.com. And let me read the whole email before you respond, because I was literally pissing my pants over this. But anyway, it goes like this. Dear Mr. B, or should I say, Sir Big B, I have long been a fan of the show, and you are my favorite character. Recently, I had a bad experience. You see, I vomited it on the dance floor at a wedding reception. Whoops. I had too much to drink. So, here's my questions. A question, sorry. Not questions. Question. In all the years you have been a heavy metal rock star. I love this. Rock star. All over the place. Anyway, let me go back. So here's my question. In all the years you were on tour as a heavy metal rock star, did you ever vomit on stage? Or perhaps did you have a funny after show vomit story? Thank you for all you do. This is Terry in Banff, which, by the way, folks, is in Alberta, Canada. So he's reaching out to Canadians at this point. It goes on to say, major fan of Cave Crew Radio and OBTW. Hi to DK and Choo Choo Stu. So there you go, Big B. I'm, I couldn't make this shit up.
No, I'm quite flattered that I am Terry's favorite character on the show. I thank you, Terry. I will tell you that there was a lot of drinking that went on in the band years, but I never drank before I went on stage, except for one time.
Oh, here we go.
We played a benefit show for Toys for Tots. I was involved, all the bikers were involved.
That's a very noble cause. We've just talked about putting booze in a lunch bag, and you're drinking before Toys for Tots.
But let me tell you why. The show happened to be on my 21st birthday. So the legal age to drink in this country is 21. So everybody bought me drinks. From the second I walked into the club, everybody was buying me drinks because it was on my 21st birthday. When I went on stage and I was lit. There's a video out there somewhere that has the entire show, and you can
to find it, Stu. We have to find it.
You can visibly tell that I was hammered. I was at one point I had the camera. I was doing backups, and the camera was right in my face. And I'm staring at it like I didn't know what it was. At that point, I didn't throw up, but I really, really wanted to, because it's not so much that I drank too much. The heat from the lights of the stage lights are really, really hot, and you're jumping around, your head banging. So one, you're drunk, you start to sweat, you start to not be drunk anymore, and you actually start to get hungover while you're on stage. So now you're getting a headache. The stage lights are like 150 degrees. All you really want to do is throw up at that point. So I'm fighting not to throw up, which I managed not to. I got off stage and I crawled to the back of the club and just laid up against the wall. And my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, came up to me. Said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I really want to die right now." And I just laid there for another hour or so until it finally passed a little bit, and I was able to walk out. But that was the only time I ever drank on stage before going on stage.
I really find a hard time believing that, but
that is 100% true.
You guys were in that van with Scotty, and you guys were probably pounding the shit back like crazy.
Are you kidding me? That van was a fucking death trap. Let me tell you about that van. You saw the picture on Facebook, right? Holy shit. Now let me tell you about the van. At one point, it had to be 96, 95, 94, somewhere around there. Somewhere between 94 and 96, we decided that we were going to get a van, right? We had our cars that we'd lug our equipment in or whatever, but, we decided we're going to get a van. So we went searching for vans, checking the classifieds and all that. And we went to see a couple of vans. There was one van that was looked really good. It felt good when you test drove it, but the guy didn't want to bring it for an inspection. So we said, fuck it, we're not going to go to him. We test drove another van that I was driving. I get in the van, Scott's in the passenger seat. We start driving down the road. We're on a side road coming to a main road, like it crosses, right? There's a red light. I'm stepping on the brake and the car's not stopping. Scott looks at me, says, you got a red light. I said, I know, I can't stop. I'm pounding on the fucking brake, hitting the floorboard. It's not stopping. He looks at me, he says, do something. as we're coming to the red light, I took the car and I threw it in the park. I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't stop. So I took the gear shift. I threw it in the park. All of a sudden, the transmission was falling apart at that point because I went from drive to park in the middle of going. I get out of the car and the guy's like, "What did you do?" Because he hears the transmission fall apart. I said, I'm slamming on the fucking brake. I'm on the floorboards. He goes, "Oh, it just needed a new master cylinder." Why don't you fucking tell us before we get into the van and drive towards fucking traffic? Holy shit. So we don't buy that van. We go, we find an ad for a cheap van. It was like $1,500. We go check it out. It says well maintained in the ad. We go check it out. We turn it on and it purrs like a kitten. It's nice. Engine sounds great. Said, "Ooh, we don't test drive it." Said, "Oh, great. Okay, we'll take it." They said, "All right, come back tomorrow," because they had to clean all their shit. It was like from an auto garage. They had to clean all the shit out of the back. I was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll come pick it up tomorrow." We go pick it up, and remember, I said we didn't test drive this van, so we pay for the van. We get in, and Scott gets in the van to drive it, and I'm driving his car. We're gonna go back to his house and do all the DMV shit. As soon as he puts now, remember, in park, the van is humming like a kitten. It sounds great. We put it into park, put it into drive, and all of a sudden there's like, and the whole van starts to shake. Oh my God. What did we just do? And we already paid the guy. The guy left. It's like, oh, what did we just do? So we drive the car back. We drive the van back to Scott's house. The whole time it's shaking all the way back to his house. He says, "All right, I don't know what's wrong, but I'm going to bring it to the shop, the auto shop by his house. Let them give it a once over, make sure everything's okay." He drops the van off. I guess the next day he gets a call from the mechanic and says, "Okay, where two of your cylinders were is a block of wood." So they had to rebuild the engine. That cost us $900. We get the van back, and then we start noticing little things in the electrical system. When it rained, you obviously put your windshield wipers on when it rains. When you step on the brake, the windshield wipers slow down. If I wanted to make a left turn 22 blocks away, I'd have to put on the turn signal now because it took that long for the turn signal to start blinking so we could make the turn.
You should have quit music at that time and point.
Well, I mean, these are great stories. Car alarms, right? Like, wee, 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 wee.
Yeah, oh yeah, we hear them all the time around here. Yeah.
So, where the horn was in the van, there was a car alarm. So whenever we'd hit the horn, we'd hear whoop, whoop, like a car alarm going off. It wasn't a regular horn. It was whoop, whoop, whoop. So we have this van, and Scott's going out one year, whatever year it was. He's going out to the Midwest to go storm chasing. He calls me up. He says, "Look, I'm gonna leave the van parked by my house. Just in case you have to move it for any reason, here's what you have to do to start the van." Thinking to myself, "Oh, you just turn the key. What do you have to do to start a van?" No, not our van. Our van was a 1986 Ford Econoline. It was a white van with a silver door, and where the regular driver's side mirror was a bus mirror. In order to start the van, if it didn't start right away by turning the key, you would have to turn the key to get the battery running. You'd have to pull the headlights on. The headlights had the button where you push and pull to turn on and off. You'd have to pull the headlights on. That button also controlled the interior lights. So you'd have to turn the interior lights on, turn the interior lights off, turn the headlights off, and then the van would start. I said, "How did you figure this out?" He says, I just try just a whole bunch of trial and error.
Who in their right mind would sit there and figure that out? I would.
Well, we had to.
I would have had the thing towed. I would have had it gone.
Oh, well, we were stuck with it. We paid money for it. We were stuck with it. So I have two more stories real quick. We noticed the van. We started having to drive the van like the cartoons drive or in TV when they drive like this. You're not just steady holding the steering wheel. To drive straight, you're doing this.
Yeah.
We bring it again to the shop, and he says, your axle is about all the way cracked through. He says, if you let it go much longer, eventually it would snap, your steering wheel would spin, your whole front tires would spin, you'd flip and die. So good. So we had to bring it to a welder to weld everything together.
Why am I laughing at this? I don't want anyone to die. I apologize.
Well, this is what the guy told us. And then one day we played a show upstate New York, about 2.5, 3 hours away. Took the van up there. It was okay. We stayed up there the weekend, did our show. It was a nice outdoor show. We get in to pack up the van to go home. About halfway through the trip home, now this is a 2.5 to 3 hour drive. So about halfway through the trip home.
Now, where are you? Where, like Albany, or where are you?
Shit, where was it?
So
it was somewhere near Albany. So I don't remember exactly where upstate, but yeah, somewhere near Albany.
Okay.
About halfway through the trip, we realized that obviously roads are not flat, right? They go up and down.
Oh God, yeah. When you're in the mountains, there,
in the Adirondacks and all that, you're going up and down. So we would slow down dramatically going uphill. Scott looks to me and he turns to me. He says, I don't know if we're going to make it, because literally we're slowing down to like 12 miles an hour. He's got it floored. We're doing 12 miles an hour uphill. So what we had to do was, when we went downhill, he'd floor it and we'd go as fast as that fucking van could go, just so we could make it up over the next hill. And it was like, I think I can. Okay, I think I can. The whole fucking ride home. We had no idea if we were going to make it home, get stuck on the road, or flip and die.
I'm thinking of Fred Flintstone right now.
Oh my God. That van that you saw the picture of was the worst piece of shit in the history of vehicles.
We got to get a picture of that van for the homepage.
Well, that's I'm sure Scott has other pictures of it that he could put up. But yeah, that was the worst van ever. And we paid $1,500 and answered an ad that said it was well maintained.
Terry from Banff, I want to tell you something right now. If you will give us more than an email address, I'll spend the extra money. We'll get you a Cave Crew Radio t-shirt, just for that question about vomit that led into a van discussion. Just email me back and give me your address, and thank you for listening. And I have no idea how vomit turned into a van conversation.
Tell him to add the $25 postage as well. Yeah,
that's right. Don't forget $25.
By the way, it includes the free shirt. It does not include shipping and handling. It'll be COD on the shipping and handling.
COD, Jesus. And speaking of vomiting in the van, I just remembered this.
Oh, really? See, there was more to your question, Terry. You're awesome, Terry. Contact me. We want to have you on this show. Go ahead.
So we get in the van. Me and Scott get in the van one day on a brutally hot July day. It was like 103 degrees outside.
Was there not anyone else in the band?
The only two people that could drive in the van were me and Scott. The other guys didn't have a license.
Where were the rest of the band members?
We were the ones that did everything in the band. So we went, we did the promotion, we did any meetings with managers. We went to pick up equipment. We did all the stuff.
How did they get to Upper State New York?
Oh, they were all in the back of the van.
Oh, so they were in the van. That's what we're getting
Yeah,
at.
and yeah. There's one time me and Scott got in the van.
And just I just got to clarify here because this is getting better and better.
Oh, I got another story too.
Oh, this van is better than the allotment. I'm like weighing things out like yin and yang. Was there any seats in the back of the van?
And you just reminded me of the story. I'll tell you it in a second. Let me tell you this one first. So we get in the van. It's 103 degrees. So brutally hot July day. We have to go meet our managers. Me and Scott. Scott's in the driver's seat. I'm in the passenger seat. Now, mind you, the center console of the van or any car, the center console.
Yeah.
Right under that is the engine. Right. So that center console keeps out all the heat from the engine. There's the heat shield and all that stuff. Not our van. That center console was really loose and would jump up and down. So all the heat from the engine came into the van. So it's 103 degrees. We turn on the van. We got the heat from the engine through the center console. All of a sudden, me and Scott look at each other. And we're like, what the fuck is that? It smelled like hot death in the van. We turn around. There's nothing back there. It's an empty van. We look around. There's a bag in like one of the, it's just like, a little slot where you just drop shit. There's a brown paper bag. Scott opens it up, puts it up, you open up a bag, you put it up to your face. He puts it up to his face. He threw it and almost threw up all over the place, all over the van. He says, here, smell this. So, of course, after seeing that, what do? I smell it. I put it up to my face. I was like, I leaped out of the van. I'm dry heaving. I'm spitting. It's horribly disgusting. It turns out that our drummer left a bologna sandwich in the van for a few days that we didn't know about it. And because of the extreme heat, rotted the sandwich and smelt up the entire van of rotten bologna sandwich. Now, if you ask him to this day, he still says he didn't do it, but we all remember him with the sandwich in the van a few days prior, and he left it there.
There you go, Terry. There is your vomit story.
That's yes, there's a vomit story. Now, you asked about seats. This was a commercial van, so it did not have seats, but we didn't register it as a commercial van because you can't park commercial vehicles on private streets. I don't know what the laws are in Canada, but here in at least in New York, you can't park a commercial vehicle on a private street. It would have to be on a public main road, right? And we didn't want to do that. So he would either have to park it in his driveway, because it was always parked by Scott's house. We'd either have to park it in his driveway or on his block. And if it's parked on his block, and it was registered commercial, you can't do that. So what did we do to try to get around that? We took lawn chairs.
Oh my God.
Put lawn chairs in the back.
We knew you were going to say that.
That's exactly what we did. We put lawn chairs in the back, draped it with a blanket. So if cops came by and they looked in, at least it looks like there's seats. Now, it didn't fool any cop because we got like 12 tickets on the van. But we did, again, tell our drummer, we told everybody, don't sit in these seats. Obviously, they're lawn chairs. They're not welded to the ground. Don't sit in these seats. Sit in the back, sit on the bed of the van. Don't sit in the lawn chair seats. So what does our drummer do? Sits in the lawn chair seat. Scott doesn't realize this, hits the gas to drive away. He goes flying off the seat and hits the back door of the van.
I'm sorry. I've got a weird sense of humor, folks. Because I was thinking he'd fly right out the back.
Oh, almost. I mean, we had the back door locked, but almost, yeah. All of a sudden, yeah, he talks like this. So all of a sudden, you just drive. All of a sudden, you hear, whoa! And he flies and hits the back of the The Jim, we told you not to sit in the seat. I forgot. Okay. Well, yeah, that was a piece of shit. Thank you, Terry, for bringing this to the show.
Quite might been our best our segment yet, but we're not leaving yet, Big B. And I really want you to start tonight after that van story. The only thing we haven't done tonight, kids, is we haven't played make up your own karaoke lyrics.
I have no interest in this bit whatsoever.
I know you hate this segment. You absolutely hate it. But tonight's segment, it's I don't have the original, but I'll play a little bit of the karaoke. It's actually, and this is quite an anomaly after your story. It's On the Road Again by Will Nelson. It's funny how things play into our hand, Big B. So what I want you to do is as the song plays, please do make up your own karaoke words to On the Road Again.
I'll come in. Well, you got to tell me when I come in. I have no idea when to come in.
Let's go now.
On the whore again. Just can't wait to get on the whore again. All the love and AIDS and syphilis on the whore again. Just can't wait to get on that one-legged whore again. Yeehaw! That's all I got.
That was good. You started a little late, but that was good. Stu, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I don't think I can beat that.
That was good. I don't know what I'm going to do either, but here we go. Willie Nelson, On the Road Again. Make up your own words. Karaoke.
On the show again. Just can't wait to get on the show again. Big B and DK are chilling with my friends. And I can't wait to get on the Cave Crew show again. I ain't got any more.
That's very good. I don't know what I'm going to do. You guys did really good. We got syphilis, and we get back on the show again. Let me clear my throat. Let me get a glass of beer here. This is tough, guys. This is not an easy segment. And you really do hate this, don't you, Big B?
I hate this with a passion.
I know you do.
Never play this again.
Let's see what we can do. Taylor Swift again. Her thighs were so big they couldn't bend. I thought that our date would never end. I'm with Taylor Swift again. And her voice is really crackly. And it's really kind of bad. And I know that this segment makes me bad, but I can't wait to do Taylor Swift again. We'll have another one.
Hey.
We'll have another one next week. There we go, folks. Make up your own words to karaoke. You can do them at home. You can email them to us at cavecrewradio@gmail.com or post them on the Cave Crew Radio Facebook page. Please do. All right. I don't know if
anybody else has questions for me, please, cavecrewradio@gmail.com.
Yeah, these are the best. No one has ever offered a question to me or Stu. We've only had it twice, but both have been. But Big B, you have that van was a fascinating story.
Oh my God,
fascinating.
Don't know the half of it. The day we got it, me and my other guitarist put a hole in the body of it. Trying to jack it
I'd like to know who brought it off of you.
Oh, we junked it. We junked it.
I can't wait to hear Stu's musician stories because, see, I had a boring life, folks. I was a hockey player. I can tell you a lot about picking up girls that smell like fish and shit like that. But yeah, I don't think I ever drove a van that was crazy. I remember my first contract that I signed. This bus we rode, I didn't think we were going to make it to the other arena. but it wasn't me that bought it or anything like that. All right. You know what time it is, eh, guys? We've got to name this show.
Yep.
And, I don't know. Hey, by the way, big shout out to two people tonight. CJ Ripka over at ripkamedia.com, Saloon 7 Studios, Ron Real. Great job. Keep doing it. And also Jason Marshall for having our own Choo Choo Stew on the show. We don't have cookies. Did you tell Brian? I don't think Brian was here. Did you tell Brian what he said when I was bitching about the curtain? Because tell Big B the curtain story.
Well, do you know when I said to DK, has he got some kind of plaque for me that he's covered up at the back,
right
behind him?
Yep.
Well, Jason Marshall had obviously listened to the show. He said, as DK hasn't got a plaque for me, that he is, or a statue, he's made his own statue for me. And apparently there's some kind of thing that the listeners have got to pay for and to erect a statue of me.
Where are they erecting a statue?
I don't know, but you need to chip in and pay for my erection, apparently.
I'd love to see I would honestly love to see it.
I can give you a pill for your erection.
No, but Big B, I honestly think, in all seriousness, if I'd ever like to see a statue erected for anybody, Rocky Balboa has had statues raised in Philadelphia. Where would we raise the statue of Choo Choo Stew? Probably the allotment.
I was going to say the allotment. It has to be.
Yeah, it would. And it would be bronze.
Or under the train trestle where we first found Stu.
Right. And if it was not bronze, it would be made out of a turnip. All right. So in the chat room, we got in the piss again. That's actually good. Taking the piss. You take the mick again. That's a good idea. I like that. See, I wasn't thinking that fast. You're gonna take the mick again. What would you call this show, Big B? I have no idea. I'm drunk.
I said the well-maintained van and the rotten bologna sandwich.
The well-maintained
van and the rotten bologna sandwich.
Over to you, Stu.
Well, I've wrote down the vomit van and a camel cam.
Okay, could you clarify where the camel comes into play?
Not the camel cam. Oh no, it's a bloody. I've got camels on my mind.
I was just wondering where the camel comes into play here.
A giraffe cam. Sorry,
it sounds better as a camel cam, though.
I was thinking of camel toe. A camel cam. A giraffe cam. It sounds better as a camel cam, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness!
Oh, we could have a vomit van and a bologna sandwich.
Vomit van. Oh, that's a good one. Kind of like that. I gotta write these down. Because here's what I said. I had a van, a giraffe, and a cam. So we got to iron this out, guys. We got a well-maintained van and the rotten bologna sandwich. We got a vomit van and a bologna sandwich. That's what you said, right, Stu?
Yeah.
And I had a van, a giraffe, and a cam. So the van's in no matter what.
I liked what Stu said originally, though, the vomit van and the camel cam. I like that one.
Even though there's no camel. All right.
Right. Even though there's no camel, it just flows. It's, it rolls off the tongue well.
All right. There you have it, folks. Tonight's show is named Tonight's show is named A Vomit Van and the Camel Cam. And if that doesn't get us listeners, I don't know what will. All right. Anybody got anything else? Because this is like, it's been a great show. I really think that if this was the one that would go on one of those contests, this would work. But
I haven't heard anything from these contests.
no, I don't think they're real. But anyway, Stu also doesn't think that the Podcast Radio Network is real either. And listen, if there's anyone that knows shows, it's Stu.
True.
So
don't
you
tell
be
Mr.
a,
Sweeney.
so you be a number one over there. Yeah, that's all right. Stu hit play by mistake one night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, boys. Next week is going to be kind of pretty cool. We have an old Double Talk Radio personality that's going to come on and hang out with us a little bit. It's like pulling teeth, trust me. Producer Scotty.
Nice.
So we'll see what comes about that. We appreciate listening, folks. Cave Crew Radio live every Thursday night right here on the cavecrewradio.com. Also on Stitcher, iTunes, and on the Podcast Radio Network. Say goodnight, boys.
Later.
Good night, boys.
We will catch you guys later.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And we have to end YouTube. Or we say dumb things on there.